as far as the grappling goes, so this is something I've been kicking around in my head, and which way does this go? Because, okay, well, let me return to tail of the tape to start with. So both 5'8", Holly Holm has a 1-inch reach advantage, which I think is going to be very much nullified by the fact that she stands in a slightly different stance. You know, Holly Holm being a bit more side on, using that lead side kick, using her kicks to the midsection, and she also uses that kind of rear chassé kick where she kind of crosses her legs over. I think that might be risky against Ketlen Vieira, who's got very, very good straight punches. But I do think that the wisdom and the movement of Holly Holm is going to be key. You know, you go back to the Irene Aldana fight, and at no point did Aldana make any adjustment to be able to overcome the movement of Holly Holm. And Holm was consistent over 25 minutes. Move away, hit with the side kick, walk her onto a head kick, jab, jab, move away, side kick, chassé kick, walk her onto the head kick. You know, it was like, it's a very consistent game. If the finish comes, absolutely she'll take it. But if it doesn't present itself, she's not going to take more risks than she knows that she needs to. That's, you know, part of the reason why, in my opinion, Holly Holm is going to be a really tough test for Ketlen Vieira. Like, Vieira can get aggressive. She can overextend herself. She can take risks that sometimes she pays for. You know, the Kunitskaya fight was a winnable fight for her, I felt. I feel like that could have been a fight where, you know, with a wiser head on her shoulders and a bit more experience, that she'd have probably been able to make the adjustments in that fight. Then she'd be on a 3-fight win streak. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Vieira tries to clinch and take Holly Holm down. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if she starts to struggle enough with Holly Holm's movement and range where she decides, okay, I'm going to put her on the floor. I'm going to beat her up from top position, because she knows that she knows that's a comfortable position for her. She will contend on the floor with Holly Holm, no doubt. The challenge will be getting past her takedown defense. I think once she's on the floor, she'll be able to largely nullify Holly Holm and most likely stay on top position and use good ground and pound. The challenge is closing that distance, and Holly Holm knowing full well that if she does, she's got a fight on her hands. If you think back to Holly Holm against Raquel Pennington, we actually saw her use her clinch work a lot more in that fight, and it wouldn't surprise me if we saw elements of that as well in this fight, because if you're Holly Holm, you want to shift through different ranges. You want the long range fight where you're moving away and you're hitting her with that side kick, and then you're trying to circle her onto the left high kick. Like, that's ideal for Holly Holm, and she can work that for 25 minutes. But if the distance closes down, she would much rather get that underhook and turn you against the fence. And if that situation happens a few times where she finds herself nullified, she may find it easier, like she did against Raquel Pennington, to take the initiative and drive Vieira up against the fence, clinch her, use good head position and beat her up against the fence, and, you know, make this a long drawn out battle.